So right now we are in front of the media center in the Glasgow Climate COP26, and we are almost towards the end of the first week. We have seen a lot. We have seen the leaders meeting. The negotiation is still going on. Maybe early days, but still we need to know where are we proceeding. And with me, I have the person who can give the best part of what exactly is happening around. Ajit Singh, one of the most important civil society voices, and also senior advisor to the Climate Action Network International. Ajit, we are in the first week. Normally, things do proceed after the first week. But this week is different because we started with the leaders conference. So standing on, I think today being Thursday evening, we right now within the COP26. What's your assessment as of now in COP26? Where is it proceeding?
Well, the idea that the UK government had put forward was they will bring leaders in the beginning so that they will set the tone. But I'm afraid to say that the tone has not been set the way we wanted for negotiations to move positively, particularly on finance. We've heard a lot of pledges, we've heard a lot of big numbers, but we know in reality they are not going to support developing countries the way we want. And finance happens to be one of the core pieces of the puzzle here.
Uh, Another important agenda is the net zero. It seems that everything is being brushed aside for net zero. So, first you tell us that where is net zero is proceeding as of now?
Well, UK government wants everybody to commit to net zero so that they can call COP a success based on the net zero target commitment. But what is net zero? We are talking about targets of becoming carbon neutral by 2050, and for many developing countries, it's going to be much later than that. But is that going to help if we don't have near-term targets? What is science telling us? Science is telling us that you need to halve your emissions by 2030. You only have 9 years left, and we are talking about 2050 targets by rich countries. That's not going to help. We want concrete plans now and not focus on those headline grabbing big net zero targets and numbers. That's not going to save us or save the planet.
And also, as we were talking about the net zero, there are issues financial element, an issue like loss and damage. But now we can see that so many international reports are clearly attributing the impact on climate change. So, do you think that, say, the second week coming up, the actual negotiation, the nitty gritty of negotiation coming up, do you see these issues will be coming up, or in the end of the day, as you said, it will be all brushed aside within under the carpet for net zero? It is a success.
Well, I must tell you, Janta, and you know very well, it's a different world. It's not a world where impacts were happening only in developing countries and the rich world thought they're going to deal with it. We have seen devastating floods in Europe. We have seen wildfires in Australia, US, Canada, and many more places. It's in their backyard, yet they are not realizing that loss and damage is a real issue for developing countries and we need money. Hats off to Scotland for listening to our voices and setting aside £1 million as loss and damage fund, which is remarkable, and this is the kind of breakthrough we were looking for. So we are positive. The pressure is mounting, and many more countries need to come forward. And that taboo of not talking about loss and damage or not providing money for that has been removed. It's high time we have to have a formal system under the UN.
And also in that context is India's announcement about net zero. Even a week back, senior figure in India's Environment Department almost ruled out net zero target. But we see that after the G20 meeting, Trump and Environment they came here and not only announced net zero target of 2070, but also series of other pledges. So how you see this India's kind of this how it influences the overall negotiation? Is India becoming the kind of a prime mover here?
Well, no doubt, India's move has surprised all of us. But I would say what India announced is, on one hand, from the environmental integrity perspective, I think it is in the right direction because out of five things that PM Modi announced, four are near-term targets which are linked to 2030, and the fifth one is about net zero, which is 2070. And of course, if the developed world is putting itself a target of 2050 and China 2060, India's target, for the target's sake of 2070 is absolutely fair, considering China's economy and emissions are 4 to 5 times of India. Now, the near-term targets is a real game changer, and that's what we need to be looking at. I know there's a bit of debate whether India should be committing to 2070 net zero target or before, but why don't we look at the kind of ambition India has put on the table and demanding $1 trillion a year to support developing countries and in India in particular. Now the ball is in rich countries' court to respond to that call and put money on the table.
And very interesting point you raised. And also, I think Prime Minister Modi also did another thing that he clubbed the emission targets with also monitoring on emission targets, the monitoring on climate. Is that if you monitor, you also need to monitor on climate. How do you see it?
Well, absolutely. This is exactly what is needed when we talk about measurable and reportable targets, which can be verified. Similar thing we have to do on finance, which rich countries have been avoiding, and in fact, the kind of numbers they put forward is full of dodgy methodology and cooked up numbers. We want real money if we want real action, and if real action is going to be measurable, money has to be measured accordingly.
And finally, with the second week coming up, as you said, the pressure has been mounting on the developed countries. Do you see that finally we are going to an agreement where 2050 to 2070 kind of range will be provided for net zero and that's it, or we will see another kind of dramatic change?
Well, net zero only indicates that okay, we are moving towards a world which is going to be carbon neutral. But what is important, again, I would reiterate, is near-term targets. If we miss the 2030 deadline of halving our emissions, we are going to be, crossing the threshold of 1.5 degree, which is going to be disastrous for the entire world, both developed and developing. So I think the focus has to be on near-term targets, money to be provided, and helping people who are suffering from loss and damage right now. So you cannot say that we are looking at 2030 and 2050 and leaving the people like in Sundarbans, like in many developing countries on their own and say, doesn't matter if you are being pushed out of your homes.
So it's all about now, not really 3 decades down the line. The final question is this whole net zero has suddenly cropped up since Joe Biden took the presidency and then geopolitically moved in the climate area post Trump era. And we saw that the whole net zero being brought up. But at the same time, we haven't seen any movement on the peaking year. So unless country talk about speaking here, how can it be net zero? So you see that net zero is basically a kind of a long rope that developed countries need, and it's a kind of a convenient life for everybody. So everybody joining the bandwagon, knowing that 3 decades down the line who is there. So is it really a convenient ploy to push back again a pushback? Because we saw in Paris 2015 at June time, the immediate is 2020. Now we are saying that they're talking about 2050, 2070, 26. So is it a convenient way to push it?
Well, absolutely. The kind of courage and boldness that is required to shift our economies, to put money on the table, and particularly target fossil fuel industries. In the West, that has not been happening, and they're shying away from that because of the vested interest and the collusion between the industrialized nations and their corporations. And unless they take a strong stand against fossil fuel industry, the polluting industries, the change is not going to happen, and that's why they keep avoiding imagining that some kind of unicorn technology at some day will bail them out. It will be too late. It will be too late if we wait for that technology.
And finally, if you look at the US election going on and the results, they're not very kind of comfortable for the president. And there are some results which have been traditionally in their side change over. People are kind of singling out the Afghanistan policy and also the climate policy. So do you see that Joe Biden will get more and more defensive of climate change and may not be as enthusiastic as he was when he took the presidency?
Well, I would not say defensive, but definitely he's going to be a lot more careful and a lot more probably slow if he starts responding to the local politics. But I think he should not, and this is the role of a leader. You don't respond to just things that are immediate, but as a leader, you have to address those things, but you do it in a manner where you have your eyes on something much, much farther, and you can see the future. That's what leadership is all about. And we can see if we don't act now on climate, we're going to see a lot more devastation, and the transition is going to be even more costlier. So it is in everybody's interest that Biden should deal with the politics, immediate local politics, but he should talk about raising ambition from the US and also supporting developing countries.
Thank you, Harjeet. We keep on talking during the conference. I think I was just talking to Harjeet Singh, as I said, one of the most important voices in the civil society from Climate Action Network International. And as Harjeet is putting up, the name zero is a convenient way of kind of pushing it back. And still, the pressure is mounting on the developed countries. And with second week, actual negotiations start, high level start. We expect something concrete to come out of this COP26. Thank you for Climate Challenge.
Very noisy suddenly.
Very noisy.